This is Massive, the world's largest cruiserweight, and you're watching and listening to Countdown City Wrestlecast. I'm out.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to the postponed episode of the Countdown City Wrestlecast. Apologies for the last minute postponement, but I appreciate your flexibility if you are joining us live here. I'm your host, JC. Joining me this week is Tommy.
Yo.
And we got Mike.
What's up, guys? It's Big Mike, and the train is rolling through almost through the first month of 2023. And if I'm not careful this weekend, my bank account might be money free.
Very, very relatable. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Could not agree more with that statement.
Yes, it is Royal Rumble weekend, and for those of y'all that are joining us live, we do appreciate it. If you joined us last night, ready for a live show, I apologize for the postponement, but I thought I would have a couple more years before we had to do a last-minute science project for our daughter, but turns out they start those in third grade now.
Oh, I was just going to blame Vince McMahon. It seemed like
No.
I mean, why can't we? It's Vince's full name.
Yeah, so that's kind of what happened. So if you're joining us live, we appreciate it. We're going to be talking all about Royal Rumble for sure, obviously. That is going on tomorrow in San Antonio.
It is?
Yes, it is. Can you believe it? Going to talk a bit about Impact HardToKill, which took place a couple weeks ago. Didn't get to talk about it much last weekend because of the news of Jay Briscoe's passing. And I'm sure we'll be discussing a bit of that emotional match that took place on Dynamite this week. So that's what we're going to be doing. If you're following along with us, please feel free to comment and let us know your thoughts as well. But we'll start with the wrestling news of the week. And guys, we'll just start with that emotional match on Dynamite. Lethal versus Mark Briscoe. You guys are in the group chat watching it live. I didn't get to see it live. Don't have TPS in my house, but I'll let you guys talk through your thoughts on the match, everything that went up, leading up to it, the announcement, everything. Just for the fact that they finally did honor Jay Briscoe on AEW television.
I've been saying it since Tuesday when they announced it. Props to Tony Khan for putting his foot down. I mean, because I think a lot of people just figured that must have been what happened. He just would not. He was determined to get that on TV, and props to him.
And he pretty much came out and confirmed earlier this week afterwards that he had to go and talk to them and tell them what had to be done. So yeah, no, definitely 100%. It's been said so many times, but props and respect and love to Tony Khan. Because like we talked about last week, like so many people came out and said, what was said 10 years ago is not who they are.
Yeah.
They did a lot to change, and it's we need this, and it was really emotional.
Yep. I because like JC, I don't have TBS in my house either, so I went to my parents' house to watch it, and you that's what I used to always do. But I just it was like saying, I'll just catch the replay later. But no, for this one, I had to see it live, so I went to my parents' house. I was so glad that they said it's the main event because I didn't get off work until 7. So I was just, I left as soon as I could when headed to my parents' house. And then, of course, I missed the original video package at first of Jay Briscoe. I watched it during one of the commercial breaks. And let me be clear, I'm glad I didn't watch it while this was going. I might have had to just go home and be like, I can't do this. I'll see y'all later. but because I think everyone has said this. I think I was okay until his little daughter said, "My dad is crazy, but I love my dad." And then I almost broke with Jay Lethal's face when he came out for the match. I almost broke with Mark, but not because he was so emotional. Because he was like, it was another day at the office. That music hit, and he came out like the same Mark Briscoe he always is. And I'm like, this dude has mental strength that I just didn't know a human could have. And of course, after the match, he was as emotional as he was supposed to be, and nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking him for either way, because people have to deal with grief however they have to, and I'm sure he'll be dealing with it for a minute, because you don't get over that in the span of a week. I don't care who you are. But the fact that he went out there, and like I said, for my money, they had a fantastic main event. I mean, people who like said, I've seen reviewers online that said they didn't think it was that much of it. I was like, what match were you watching? It was Mark Briscoe, Jay Lethal at their best, and I always knew Mark could go, but man, he stepped it up, and we all know why. But it was amazing. So yeah, I loved it.
I mean, and that's the thing. It was a tribute match.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be anything other than a simple match, but they were like, no, that's who we are. That's not what Jay was. So, Lethal's like, hey, put me through a table with a flying elbow drop on the outside.
Mhm.
That's what I would have done.
They probably talking about the match backstage. What would Jay do if he were here? What am I supposed to do at the table? You're right about that.
Was it Caprice Coleman that was on on
Commentary?
the call, right? Yeah, because they bring him in for OH stuff. And he basically said that during the match. He was like, I know they're friends, and it's basically like I know they're grieving, but this is what Jay Briscoe would have wanted. And sometimes you just got to smack your friends in the face, because that's what we do. And but I agree too. Like Jay Lethal, like it was hard to watch him because he was teary-eyed walking out on his entrance the whole time. I agree. Like how Mark kept himself under composure or whatever was beyond me. And then was really cool at the end, because sometimes the camera is just in the right place at the right time, and you catch these images that are going to become iconic. Yeah. And they caught that one shot of Mark kind of holding up the belts with his back to the Tron.
Yeah.
And it's like he just kind of covered up Jay Briscoe's face, and it had Jay's name above him. And it's kind of, you find it anywhere online now. After what happened. I feel like it's going to be one of those photos that's just going to be iconic through time because of what it meant. So
Mark, I've always noticed with him, he's got a way of just turning it on when he's in the ropes. It's a different person. I met him through a meet and greet before Ring of Honor show when I was in San Antonio. He's talking about his kids. I think we were pregnant with our daughter at that show, and he was telling me what it's like being a parent. Yeah. I think Kevin Steen at the time was getting ready. He had a daughter on the way too. He already had his son, but his daughter was on the way. So I always know how old Kevin Owens' daughter is, because it's the same age as Adi.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's Mark was just talking about it, what it was like to be a parent and everything like that. It was really cool. He gave us a little perspective. Yeah. Not something you see from a guy who's missing teeth. I think you would hear from a guy who's missing teeth up front, right? But that was him. He was that normal guy, and then get in the ring, it clicks, it turns on, and I think that was really him. That was his therapy, his way to cope. He's on probably one of the bigger TV audiences he might have been on in a long time, and for a match for his brother, which, God, it's tough. You can't imagine that. So
I feel like for everyone that I feel you know what it was for me. This match was when it really hit me. Jay was gone. This was when I think it did for a lot of people, because, and I'll tell you exactly why. The second I realized there will be no Briscoe tag, that's when it hit me. When I realized there will be no tag to Jay, he would come out, he would come in and then tag back out to Mark. They would hit, a Spike J Driller or a Doomsday Device, whatever, what have you. The second I realized that's when it hit me the hardest. I was like, damn, Jay's really gone, and that it's really over. But I will say, one moment that made me tear up because I noticed when he does it, and I'm really happy Mark did it, is when Jay used to do that neck breaker, and like whenever he yells like that before he hits it, Mark did that, and I was like, that's what Jay used to do. And I did that. I was like, I'm a nerd. Oh well.
It's one of those things you hope they keep doing. I mean, Mysterio did a frog splash so much after Eddie passed, and it's one of those tributes you hope that Mark will continue to do.
That and I kind of hope he keeps doing the J Driller.
Yeah.
Where he finished off the match.
Yeah. So amazing tribute match. Warner Media, thank you for getting your head out of your ass and allowing AEW to do this. And allowing these tributes to happen. I mean, say what you want about what happened over 10 years ago. He means so much to wrestling fans everywhere, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor, I believe, has already posted some tribute videos, and they have more on the way as they travel. So, yeah, I know, Tommy.
I watched that, but let me tell you what I could not watch, and I still can't yet. Samoa Joe just openly crying.
Yeah,
it's one of the segments that he's just talking to the camera, and he is in tears the whole time. And I was like, I can't do this right now. I really can't.
Yeah.
Because Adam Cole, man, by the way, it can give the most heartfelt speech when he wants to. And just is how he was talking to the crowd, talking about Jay Briscoe. It was he's great. So.
Yeah.
So,
you know, with him, no, because it kind of like what JC mentioned earlier with Mark. From things I've seen and stuff I've seen other people talk about, that is completely a guy who is just, it's a character. It's not Adam Cole, the a-hole is not him turned up to 11. Like, he's apparently in real life, like, the nicest, like, sweetest, like that kind of thing. And so a-hole Adam Cole is just a great character. It's like, I guess he gets to escape into like, oh, I
we have his new heel name, A-hole Adam Cole. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Trademark.
Yeah. Put that on a t-shirt before AEW comes
out. Adam Cole, a-hole. Anyway.
Baby. All right. A-hole Adam Cole, baby. Yeah. So.
Hey, right. I can see it. I can see that as a shirt. I'd probably buy it.
Now let's talk a bit about Impact Hard to Kill, Impact's first pay-per-view event of the year, and one that, quite frankly, has really, they've done such a good job kicking off, setting the standard for American pay-per-views. You know, obviously, Wrestle Kingdom kind of kicks off wrestling pay-per-views most years. This one, though, is really Impact's way of saying, "Hey, we're still around." You know, they had a lot of really good build-up to this one. Obviously, the Call Your Shot, Bully Ray getting his shot against Josh Alexander, and I know, Mike, how you feel about that one, but
ironically, my normally hard to kill love for wrestling gets tested sometime when they bring Bully back.
Yes. But
sorry, go ahead.
This match did open the show, Full Metal Mayhem, the Impact World Championship, and I don't know if that's ever happened before where the World Championship of Impact is defended as the first match on a pay-per-view.
See, who does Bully think he is, Roman or Brock? I'm on first or I'm on last. I'm just kidding.
Well,
no, I mean, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know Full Metal Mayhem's usually open pay-per-views because they got to clean it up for the next half hour afterwards.
Yeah.
But it was shocking to the world title in the Full Metal Mayhem started, but
cool. I think given you know what you're going to get to for the main event, I think it actually does make sense.
Yeah.
And to do it like that and not have that, you know, Full Metal Mayhem like second to last or you know, like right in the middle and kind of kill the vibe of other matches. I think it works. I think it worked out pretty well like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some quick results on that. Alexander did beat Bully Ray in that match. The Motor City Machine Guns retained their titles, World Tag Team titles, in a four-way tag team elimination match. Joe Hendry defeated Moose to retain the Digital Media Championship. Marshall Slamovich became the number one contender for the Impact Knockouts World Championship by way of a four-way match. Steve Macklin defeats Rich Swann in a Falls Count Anywhere. Eddie Edwards defeats Jonathan Gresham. And then finally, the main event, Mickie James defeats Jordan Grace in a title versus career match. So Mickie James is now the Impact Knockouts champion. And well, Ben, so we talked about this a couple weeks ago. We thought they announced this as the main event. Is this Mickey's final send-off? You know, and they've been teasing this for months now.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this is almost turning into almost the Summer of Punk thing. Like, I ain't going anywhere. You know, it's like, yeah.
I feel like she's gonna drag out to Slammiversary, and but yeah, what Mike said. No, actually, please don't go. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, please, Mickey, stop doing this. Don't do this to us. We don't deserve it.
Do you think she shows up at the Rumble tomorrow?
That's a stretch. That's a stretch, but I'll say tentatively maybe, but I'm not gonna say yeah absolutely because I don't know at this point. I'm kind of gonna be sitting there like wondering, okay, whose music do I not know anymore because I don't know anyone's songs anymore.
What I was gonna say is I know we'll talk more about the Rumble later, but I'm just gonna go with the blanket no to any Forbidden Door things. That way, if it happens, I'll be pleasantly surprised. But I'm not sitting here going maybe, and then going nah, nothing happened. I'm going to go with no, and then I'll be surprised, happily if someone does.
If someone does show up, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like someone who was on SmackDown tonight, we could talk about that.
Yeah. Top tier appearance for sure. Now, Tommy, you got to watch this event thoroughly. I've caught highlights. What match or a couple of matches have stood out to you about this event? HardToKill.
It had 2 no DQ matches, so honestly, that really does, get my attention right away. But I will say probably the Full Metal Mayhem because it did have Jay Chung in there, hit essentially a Dudley Dog or an acid drop, however you want to call it, on Bully Ray, and which is cool because Jay Chung used to wrestle when she was in ROH. But the women's 4 match was really fun. I mean, you have 4 in there who you can't really go wrong with unless you're trying. I mean, you're on WWE, but but the main event was definitely emotional. It felt like it was going to be her last match until she got the 3 count, and that shot, and it was pleasantly surprising. But it was shocking. But also, Victoria was there supporting Mickie James. I don't know if you guys heard that. Apparently, she wrestled on Impact. She wrestled on Impact.
In the tapings, right? So like it's coming up.
Yeah. So I don't know if she's temporarily out of retirement. I mean, that happens in wrestling sometimes. You're retired you're unretired for all of 6 months, retired again because unless you're Triple H facing down Gunther, and then you're like, no, I'm retired, dude.
Hey, anytime is she going by Tara or is it just Victoria?
That's a great question, and I honestly don't know.
Okay, either way, whatever her name she's going by, because I know when she was in there the first time it wasn't.
No,
fully Victoria, right? Yeah.
It was Tara when she was in, so it might be Tara again.
Probably Tara. Yeah, I think Victoria is the whole WB trademark thing and all that stuff.
Anyway, anytime you want to come back, go for it, please.
Yeah.
You were a awesome part of women's wrestling before.
Or anytime she wants to just do meet and greets in San Antonio, I'm okay with
that too. Sure.
For sure.
You remember that?
She's going by Tara. I found it. So
okay. Yeah. They let women wrestle, and then for some odd reason, like 10 years later, they needed an evolution for some reason. But
I
don't know.
Yeah,
weird.
Because to this day, one of my favorite matches, not even just women's matches, but matches is Victoria at Survivor Series. Was it 2002? And like it was a hardcore match. That's still one of my favorite matches because they actually did beat the crap out of each other.
And then that was a great match. And then if we want to, after this, talk a little bit about Raw 30, there's a connection back to Victoria because Raw was supposed to have its second ever women's cage match.
We're going to get into that.
Don't worry.
Cool.
So,
Tommy, anything else stand out? You mentioned those matches, but was there something else that might have stood out to you on this thing that highly recommend? If you don't watch the pay-per-view, there's a match you got to see.
Let's see. I think both the main opening match were good. I really as far as like everything else, it was just and this sounds weird to say, but it was standard Impact solid matches. It was like I won't say it was like you got to see this, but if you just want to see a solid show, it was definitely a solid show. It didn't have anything to me that like blew me away wrestling wise. That wouldn't come out at first. But it wasn't a bad show either. I think how we were with NXT takeovers, we have been spoiled by Impact pay-per-view. So that's the fun part. It's like when I remember thinking, it's like it wasn't that great. I was like, wait a minute, actually, that was a really good show. It's just we're spoiled if they don't. If every match is in the 5 out of 5, then it's just, I think it's a weak show. That's not true at all. It was a great show.
Who do you think they are? 2016 NXT?
Well,
That's good.
as far as our pick results on it, Tom and I both went 3-2, and Mike went 4-1.
Quick question. What was my one?
Oh, let me get to it here. Old agenda.
Wasn't it Jordan Grace and Mickey? I think we all got that one wrong.
Yeah,
that's
what we all got
right.
wrong.
Okay.
We all figured that Grace was going to win that one. So
did we guess on the multi-person match?
No, I don't think so, because I don't think it was over. Actually, yeah, we did. Mike and Tommy took the Motor City Machine Guns, and I said the major players.
Wow.
Yeah, so you got a multi-person match right, Mike.
I guess Tommy, and you solved the millennial problem.
Yeah.
A multi-man impact match, and we guessed it right. We deserve medals for that.
Yeah. Now, one of the matches that we picked that was actually on the pre-show was Trey Miguel and Black Taurus, and we all got that one right. That one ended up being on the pre-show, which was for the X Division title. So
nice.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy, you were the only one that got to watch it the whole way through. So, what is your rating? 0 to 5, 5-year WrestleMania 17, 0 being December 10th member for
no pressure,
Impact Hard to Kill.
I'll say a solid 4.25 because I won't go overboard with it, but I'm not going to undersell it either because say it's like a great show ever, you can't miss it, but I'm not going to say it's not like you should not watch it, because if you're a fan of wrestling, you should definitely watch it. I'm just saying it's not something you have to you'll be blown away by, but it's definitely it's a good show. To me it's still worth watching. It's still worth, they constantly make us strong that whole Impact Plus subscription. They really do. They make it worth it. And they have my respect for how it put in work for the shows.
Yep.
Well, your rating is the lone wolf here, so it is a 4.25 for Impact Hard to Kill. Good old Wrestlecast rating. Maybe that'll get updated later as I finally get to see it, because it's been a busy month, dude.
Yeah. Dude, no. You know what's funny? Because I know you said we were postponing the show yesterday, but if we had to do this Tuesday, I might have had to postpone, because I don't know what was going on this week. But when I got to Tuesday, it's like, man, it's been a long week. Holy crap! It's on Tuesday.
JC, do we have a dump button like they do on radio stations?
Unfortunately, we don't.
Oh, okay, so I'll self-censor. I feel like many of us already want to be like, "Hey, 2023, go yourself."
Yeah.
I said that about the 17th. Was that
you're like on the 2nd? The Monday after New Year's,
Yeah.
No, I wasn't like that yet because Wrestle Kingdom was that Wednesday.
Oh, that's right. You were waiting for Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah. Usually after Wrestle Kingdom, the year's always
your future at that point was just glowing.
Yeah. Got robbed him after the 4th, let me tell you.
Before we get into the Rumble, we want to talk a little bit about Raw 30. These 30th anniversary shows, or 25th anniversary, or 1,000 episodes, or whatever the hell they do with this stuff. They bring a lot of legends back. They do a lot of these segments. Be honest with you, it becomes a very
Vince McMahon type produced show. And there's not a whole lot of advancement of storylines. Honestly, the only thing that really stood out to me was the Bloodline segment, which I believe it was open the show.
It opened the show,
yeah. I was
it was like,
to be fair, the Bloodline segments are kind of like the best thing the whole damn company has going right now.
But I understand the original plan was to bring in the real, true Bloodline, like the Wild Samoans and everyone else involved.
And Rikishi,
yeah.
I don't think The Rock was supposed to show up. A lot of people were speculating because they just said all the Bloodline. But from the reports that have come out, it was just going to be Alpha and Sika, who we've seen before when they first gave Roman the jalapeno necklace or whatever that red thing is.
Yeah.
They were there, and then Rikishi was supposed to be there. But apparently, Rikishi had gotten sick, and then Alpha and Sika didn't feel they were up to making the flight and the trip
Yeah.
So they kind of had to change it
Yeah,
kind of late in the week, but yeah.
they've done plenty
guess
for wrestling.
early.
They get to be sick.
But obviously, the biggest news out of that too is it's almost like the women's
De-evolution, if you will. The Bloodline segment runs over, and what's the match we cut? A highly anticipated women's match.
Yeah.
Becky and Bailey in the cage, and you don't have time for that. Okay, but before we officially get onto that, let me say one thing, because people were making this assessment in 2006 when DX reunited.
Yeah.
DX was supposed to be the rebels that weren't doing what they are told. Now, two of them are literally in charge. One's in charge of the creative for the main roster. The other's in charge of NXT creative. And then Road Dogg's like a producer agent as well. Somehow X-Pac is like the only dude who's like, nah, I'll show up, but I'm not running stuff. Like, you know the Batman quote where it's like, you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain?
Yeah.
You're the authority, and you've been the authority for a long time now. I like DX. I love Shawn Michaels, one of my two favorites of all time. But come on. Like, I don't want to see DX coming out on walkers like in 20 years from now. Like,
You know that's going to happen.
let it
One of
go.
these days.
I mean, all of them except Billy Gunn, who still doesn't look like he aged past 40.
The best in shape of old DX is because he's still doing stuff on the other company.
Yes.
Oh.
Now, Kurt Angle's replacement was actually kind of funny. Though. I'm just gonna throw
No,
that
okay,
out there.
I will admit that was hilarious.
Yes.
That whole thing was hilarious. And the whole, I wish if only there was someone to come out to fight. I will admit I laughed at all of that. I'll give you that. That was funny.
Yeah.
But also, would have rather seen the cage match.
Yeah.
Think about all the matches that actually were on Raw that night, and all the other maybe like segments that potentially could have been just backstage stuff. Why are you cutting a cage match? And have they even rescheduled it? I didn't watch SmackDown.
They haven't announced. I don't know because Bailey and Damage Control announced themselves for
the
the Rumble, and I think Becky already had been, but I'm sure she will.
Yeah. I'm sure. I think she was already in it. But still, yeah, that's the point is like, why of all the matches you're cutting that one? Why is it the one we're getting cut? And then, the whole interviews Brie and Nikki Bella have said that they showed up, they had nothing for them. Why invite them? So,
Listen up, WWE. When you have me agreeing with points made by the Bellas, and this is with Triple H. I'm assuming he's still like, I don't know if Vince has officially started his puppet government, but come on, man. You made me agree with a Bella point, and I'm pretty sure they were buzzed at the very least.
Yeah.
So come on, man.
I don't know how to follow that. I think we got that. It's just
I had something, but I don't anymore. There's no way I could come up with anything.
Salud. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, still both attractive and beautiful women. The only thing I've ever been upset with WWE was them trying to tell me like they were the greatest female wrestlers of their time.
Yeah.
That's really what
And
I was
I keep
upset.
saying I always kept saying I don't remember their names being Trish Stratus.
no.
Well, not to get too far up, but the best thing was like Nikki's last title run. She improved a lot, but the fact the fact that you constantly had to say about your champion, look how much better she's gotten. I mean, that's always like, come on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like she did, but that shouldn't be your champion.
I think that's all we really need to say about Raw 30.
We'll check. We'll check back in 5 years when it's Raw 35, or 10 years when it's Raw 40, and see where they're shit. No, Raw 50, they're going to come out in wheelchairs and walkers and all that shit. And
again, except Billy Gunn.
no, Billy Gunn will. Billy Gunn's coming out with the Acclaimed at that point too, right?
No, I was going to say maybe by that time, the Gunn boys are a little bit better, well known, and they're the ones pushing the wheelchairs down to the ring, and Billy's helping them. So it's like the Gunn family helping DX down.
And when they do I got 2 words for you. Billy's gonna go scissor me, daddy ass, and just like, oh shoot, that's the wrong one, you know. So,
or let's just call a spade. At that point, Tony and Shahid Khan will own them, and then they'll just do whatever they want.
I mean, there was the potential buyers.
I mean,
I'm just saying,
I know, and that's the best part of it. Going back to Triple H is like, maybe Vince will just buy that pissant company to Billy when they let him come that.
Oh my
time.
God, that joke came up so much during this. I said, if that reverse happens, that will be the biggest reverse card of all time.
You know, here's a couple things. Yeah,
notice the one finger. Anyway,
that'll be one of those this didn't age well things that are going to show up everywhere.
Yes,
and it was almost to the point. I mean, look, as much as I hate to admit, the Jacksonville Jaguars were having a great season. They were making a hell of a playoff run. If they had won the Super Bowl,
yes,
Vince McMahon, Triple H would have had to send a WWE championship to the owner of AEW.
That is literally the reason I wanted them to go to the Super Bowl. So they could, the quarterback could be like, nah, gonna take this one.
Yeah.
Sorry, WWE.
I can't lie. That's the whole reason I wanted them to go at that point.
I know you guys say that, but as a proud Titans fan, I'm so fucking happy it didn't happen because Jags fans enough are bad enough, okay? For whatever reason, they hate us for some reason. They just can't let shit go.
Okay.
But yeah.
I was just gonna say, picture this: Jacksonville wins. They hand the court. No. Okay, well, let's go fantasy. They hand Mark Brunell the title in this alternate universe Jacksonville Jaguars. That's right, I said Mark Brunell, and he goes, "What's this?" MJF shows up with his hideous Burberry belt that he has, and be like, no, use this one.
Use this one.
And then he does some low-hanging, insults to, other teams, and he's like, the Titans, you left Houston, you suck, because he's just...
Yeah.
All I kept thinking with that whole the guns by WWE thing was like, I just had a Yu-Gi-Oh flashback. You activated my trap card, just right away. So just desserts. Anyway.
All right. Before I start throwing up at the thought of the Jags potentially winning the Super Bowl, let's get into the WWE Royal Rumble. God. Guys, it's happening tomorrow night, about 4 years sooner than we expected it to be back in San Antonio because it was becoming every 10 years on the 7s, we were getting a Royal Rumble in San Antonio.
And in all fairness,
it
could still be back here in 4 years.
Good.
And I kind of hope so, but if you're going to do that, for fucking sake, use the whole goddamn dome. Please. If you're sitting there selling tickets to this event on Groupon, it's not because you have so few available. It's because they're so fucking expensive. We just put 68,000 people in the Alamo Dome for a Spurs game to set an NBA. Yeah, the Spurs are one of the worst teams in the league right now.
They lost by 35 points.
Yeah, to the defending champs. We knew the Spurs were probably not going to win that game, but we still showed up to set an NBA attendance record. And to be quite frankly with you, I believe that's more people that have ever attended any Royal Rumble in the Alamo Dome.
It was the biggest event in Dome history of anything.
Yeah, so suck it, Billy Graham, and your religious crusade. We'd killed that out of the water,
Wow.
But hey, it's a wrestling show. I voted the suck it thing in there. So my thought is, what the hell? You've set up the Alamo Dome in the past, WWE, for 71,000 people. Why didn't you think we could sell that out? That's my biggest gripe about it. And why, when the tickets prices came out and I saw the seating chart, I was like, I'm not going. Now, this guy down here is going because in true Tommy fashion, he got in free somehow.
This doesn't always happen. Stop saying I did everything for free.
Tommy, you can't see my hand because it's below the camera, but it's flicking you off down there.
I don't get into everything for free.
No, just anything that's a wrestling event. So not everything. Sure. You wouldn't have gotten into the Billy Graham revival thing for free, but that was wrestling. So
actually, that was
been
Anyway, all right.
Tommy gets back up here. You're
I'm-
going to this event. What are you looking? First of all, if you are attending the Royal Rumble tomorrow at the Alamo Dome, the city has. I think they're going to open park and ride for this. So if you got, you're able to use that, use it. I highly recommend it. Number 2, get there early. It's going to be packed. Parking is going to be a pain in the ass, especially if you're driving down there. But kind of take in the sights if you've never attended to. Oh Jesus Christ!
Damn it! I said you suck.
Hashtag Tommy Free.
Oh my God! No!
Anyway, if you've never been to a major pay-per-view like this, it was something one of the big 4, big 5 now, Money in the Bank. Get there early, walk around, just get a feel for it. It's a pretty awesome event just to be there. Take some pictures and stuff, enjoy it, kind of vision it, and get there early enough to see some of the dark matches, see what local talent get to perform on the stage too.
Did I ever tell y'all when I went to WrestleMania 25? I actually met Shad Gaspard. He was just walking around.
No shit, really?
Yeah, he was. You know what? I had totally forgot about that. It was me and my younger cousin because she loved wrestling at the time. I don't know if she still does, but oh damn it! Did I get free? Did someone buy a ticket for me for that? I think.
Jesus Christ!
Son of a bitch! I just remember. I was like, because I bought. No way, I did because I didn't buy for her, and I was like, oh damn it! My uncle bought those tickets. Shit. I just remembered that right now. I didn't buy tickets for 25. Son of a bitch!
I mean,
but I bought tickets for Ring of Honor that weekend. I remember doing that specifically.
Okay, swear to God, one of these days, Tommy is gonna make it to Wrestle Kingdom, and for one way or another, he's gonna fucking get in free for that too.
I am not getting Wrestle Kingdom for free.
No, you'll find a way. You'll be on
pretty
Gato's
sure
mailing
that
list.
Archer will accommodate him.
Yes,
as long as he allows him like a choke slam through a table.
Yeah,
I would absolutely. I would take a choke step through a table to get Wrestle Kingdom for free. I would have no back arrangement whatsoever. My only question would be: is it before or after the show's over? I could do either. I just want to know how much pain I'll be in during the show.
Yeah.
Len says, "Are you sure?" He turns around for a second. He turns back, and your throat is already in his hand. He's like, "How did this happen?"
Are you sure? Dude, just get it over with. Just do it.
Like, I will choke slam myself through this table.
Anyway,
it's like I watch enough wrestling. I'll figure it out.
Tommy, is there anything you're most looking forward to tomorrow night before we get into the matches?
I really am just looking forward to the experience of being at a Rumble again. Like the not knowing who's coming in at what point. I mean, they kind of did spoil the Cody Rhodes thing, which kind of does suck. But I'm hoping they'll have legit surprises. Like, I've heard Zack Ryder, aka Matt Cardona. I don't quite know if I believe that, only because he's still doing stuff in Impact literally right now. Although that Mickey James, so it could be. I would like to see some Legends of Inside show up.
They kind of have to because there's not enough women right now.
Yeah.
Come on, Mandy Rose.
Dude, actually, I will. I would love it if that's the case.
Yeah.
Cool. I just want it to be a fun Rumble. I mean, the winner can be predictable because I think I'm down to picking one of two. But I just want it to be a fun Rumble. I really do. I think the Rumble's one of the most fun things as a fan because I don't care how often we talk about it. I keep flashing back to all of us at JC's house when AJ Styles debuted because I think that and Edge are the times we lost our absolute fucking minds on the watching a
Weren't we at JC's for that one too? At the
Edge last year was it was 2 years. No, we were at my house.
Yeah,
that was actually the first time we live streamed a reaction, and it was it at Minute Maid Park? Yeah, before
that was at Minute Maid Park because
it was before the pandemic.
That was like right before the pandemic hit.
Yeah,
no, it was right after. No,
it was January 2020.
It was January 2020, and then March is when everything went to shit.
You're right.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just looking forward to having fun. Shout out to my friend Dr. Kim with the tickets. Because some of my friends asked me, and like JC said, I saw the prices and how they staged it. I was like, I'm not going because it doesn't feel right. And when Jess said, "What do you want?" I was like, "Well, yeah, I'll take free tickets. Yeah, I'll go ahead." But that's different, But our principal wasn't paying for them, so.
I mean, ringside is $6,000 at face value. Like, come on,
So
Nah.
Insane.
yeah.
Well, let me confirm. I ain't sitting ringside. Let me go and tell you that right now.
Remember, Mike, in '97, ringside was $250, and we thought that was outrageous. And
Yeah.
Jesus,
We're on the floor with discount tickets still, but
$13,
far back on the
baby.
floor, yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's get into the event itself. And if you're all watching this live, thanks for joining us. We're going to go through and make some predictions for this. We're going to start, though. My first question, though, what the hell is a pitch black match?
I
Well,
don't know.
first
And
of
what does
all,
Mountain Dew have to do with this?
yeah, I was going to say it's not just a pitch black match. It is a sponsored Mountain Dew pitch black match. And I don't know if you remember some of those classic like Undertaker Tostitos casket matches or I mean, like nothing says scary paranormal Bray Wyatt like a Mountain Dew sponsored match.
Or the Legends Battle Royal, sponsored by Viagra at WrestleMania.
Blue
Yeah.
Chew.
I mean, considering we don't know what's all in Mountain Dew, it could be kind of scary in retrospect. I mean, as a person who's drank a lot of Mountain Dew in his time,
Yeah.
I'll probably regret it.
You just said that, and I would love a concept of the match for like both of them to like chug 2 or 3 Mountain Dews, and then go into a match like just hopped up on caffeine beyond the legal limit.
Like I didn't really do the Dew before or after I got diagnosed with Crohn's, so it's like I was like, why is Mountain Dew involved with this? But yeah, they're getting their name out there somewhere.
I don't think I've drank a Mountain Dew since college. Honestly,
I haven't since I worked. The last time I did was when I was working at my call shop, only because like I found that the energy drinks didn't wake me up; they just made my heart race faster, and I thought heart attack. So I was like, "This is a bad idea." So right. So I was remember thinking, "This is a bad idea. I should stop doing it."
Well, the Undertaker seemingly on Raw 30 passed the torch to Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, that was one of the coolest things about Raw 30.
When you get a rub like that, does anybody think LA Knight is going to come in and beat Bray Wyatt in a pitch black match?
I don't, but I also don't. I don't think it matters anymore.
I would say no, except for this Uncle Howdy thing that I have no idea what they're doing with it. Everyone's saying it's Bo Dallas, which was cool, but I don't know what he's supposed to be or it's supposed to be. And
you got to believe.
Oh God.
I want to believe this story will eventually have a point, but
there's that too. I keep laughing because Uncle Howdy. I'm sorry, our brain immediately goes to Howdy Doody, literally every single time. I can't stop my doing that in my head. So yeah.
See, with the kind of like Colonel Sanders face, I think of like Foghorn Leghorn for some reason, and I just imagine, Bray Wyatt. I say, exactly.
Well, I say, it's time to make some predictions for this here, and I say I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt to win this. Tommy, what did you say on this one?
I say, Bray Wyatt. That's what I say.
Okay. And what say you, Mike?
Sorry, I grew up.
Huh? Yes.
All right. And if you're watching this and have no idea what we're referencing, Google Looney Tunes. All right.
Yes, sir. Real quick, I do want to say like about the Raw 30 Undertaker thing. That was my favorite version of Undertaker was Biker Taker. Just moving on.
Yeah, a lot of people online kind of crap on it. It was like it was pretty cool for the time. Like it was pretty
cool. Yeah,
it gave him a little change for a while. And
Kid Rock was the biggest thing going at the time. So
Yeah. I mean, you can't deny the iconic nature of a regular Taker. And I'm not saying that's a bad gimmick at all. I'm just saying that Biker was my favorite. So
yeah.
So in wrestling, how we find out later things didn't actually happen the way we were told as kids. Like Pat Patterson didn't actually win a tournament in Rio de Janeiro.
Don't spoil that for me, bro. Don't. I really.
Did you know Kid Rock grew up rich and isn't really like from the slums of Detroit or something? What is that, man?
That's somehow. I actually didn't know that. That's somehow disappointing.
Yeah, apparently, like if you look it up, like his dad was rich and he grew up on like this big property, like outside of the city, and that's disappointing.
That's somehow extremely disappointing. What the hell?
Wrestling, man.
All right, Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair defending against Alexa Bliss.
Well, let's let JC go first.
Sure.
Okay. I want to take Alexa Bliss, I really do, but this whole Bray Wyatt crazy psycho thing has me wondering what the hell they're doing. And I feel like, at least right now with her, like if that wasn't going on, I'd definitely be picking Alexa. But I feel like this match is just, they're using it to advance some sort of storyline with this. And it's going to tie in a lot to this whole pitch black thing, whatever the hell else they're doing. So I'm going to go with Bianca Belair because I really think this whole thing is going to mess up Alexa's head, because that's really going to be the focus. You know, and that's sad to say, because I think the two of them could wrestle a great match, but Bianca's performance is really going to get outshined by what the hell the storyline they're trying to advance with Alexa Bliss on this thing. So Bianca, it's going to be one of those where Bianca gets the win, rolls out of the ring, so they can finish this thing. Yes, I know.
And where is the actual AC? You sit on a throne of lies. Okay.
That being said, if Alexa wins, I'll be so fucking happy.
Right.
You know, yeah.
You'll be. I was gonna say you'll be real mad if you're wrong and Alexa wins.
Yeah.
You'll be so heartbroken over it.
Yeah. So,
Mike, what are you saying on this one?
I honestly, I think what you said was perfect.
Yeah.
Same thing. Like Alexa Bliss has way too confidently said, "I'm in charge. I'm the Queen of Darkness," or whatever. I forget the exact wording of it. But
Yeah.
you know, like I'm the spooky goth evil chick, and I'm like, "Hello, Rhea Ripley." No, I'm just kidding. But
I mean, that's what I was gonna say.
But yeah, she said it way too confidently, and Howdy keeps showing up for her too. So I agree. And
Yeah.
you kind of also hit it on the head. Like I kind of feel bad for Bianca because she'll probably put on a killer match. But you're right. Like this storyline almost seems more important to her championship. So
Yeah. And Tommy, I guess you're a clean sweep in that one.
Yep. I mean, I refuse to bet against Bianca until she actually loses. I am Deonna Purrazzoing this until she loses. So
All right. Speaking of Deonna Purrazzo stuff, WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns.
It's facts though.
I know, defending against Kevin Owens. Two-part. I think let's
Okay.
go ahead. Who's picking Roman Reigns? Let's just start with that.
yes.
Yeah, we're all picking that. Okay.
For a split second, I thought you just meant like literally her.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what does she have to do with the men's I didn't realize you just meant what he said by like the way you're gonna pick from now on.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
I was like, look, I'll be cool if she shows up. It'll be a weird story.
Okay. But hey, let's be honest. If Deonna Purrazzo challenged Reigns, dude, I really don't know who I'm picking anymore.
Yeah.
I'll go with Deonna. Fuck that.
But see, the funny part was you had to think about it.
Yeah,
Because
that's
really
tough.
like, wait, hold on. Who actually would I pick in this?
Deonna, Cody Rhodes. Deonna. Okay. Anyway, this is kind of an interesting one because obviously with the Raw 30, they told Sami Zayn, I don't want to see you on Friday on SmackDown. I'll see you at the Rumble. And then he showed up.
Okay.
He showed up on SmackDown. So it's funny because I remember after War Games, when we recapped War Games Survivor Series, I said Roman was looking at Sami a little weird. Like he's not liking the fact that Sami's getting a bit of a shine, you know?
Yep.
And this whole trial of Sami Zayn that they did on Monday, and of all people, Jey Uso coming to his defense. I don't know. I'm not sure how Sami's going to get involved in this match. I have a feeling potentially this match will start the show because that's the Roman Reigns way of things. But how is Sami going to get involved? Is Sami going to get kicked out of the bloodline somehow? Is there something that's going to happen to this that's going to really? Because really, that's kind of the main thing about this story. Where does Sami Zayn's allegiances lie? You know. Your thoughts on that, guys?
No, again, agree with a lot of what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think Reigns is going to win, but yeah, I think the bigger picture out of this is going to be the fate of Sami Zayn, whether he gets involved, whether he refuses to attack Kevin again or something, or does something where it looks like he helps Kevin Owens unintentionally. It's honestly been some really great storytelling with some incredible acting across the board from everyone involved. Like even going back to the trial on Raw, like Solo just being literally like the executioner It was like Solo, and he's like, "Well, gonna go give you the thumb real quick." Before like just casually, that just hold him, like time to go before Jay saves him. It's been really great across the board. Like everyone involved has been amazing. Even Kevin Owens as the protagonist, antagonist, if you will, of the situation.
He's
it's just great.
He's the Kratos of the story. He's the anti-hero. He's not really the good guy. He's not really the good guy, but he's a guy that you're rooting for anyway.
Well, because it's like almost no one's a good guy in a sense.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I will say about Sami Zayn's acting, I feel like he learned a lot from El Generico because if you remember, El Generico was really great with his expressions. Not even though he had a mask on, so I feel like Sammy really learned from him a lot.
Do you feel like he mimics his movements and actions very closely?
I've been saying that for the past couple of years, but you guys keep shutting me down every
Definitely
time I bring that
closely.
up.
We're starting to kind of see it more and more. It just takes time.
I've been saying, my God, I feel like I'm in the toilet.
Well,
I've been telling you guys for years.
Under Triple H, he's able to showcase it more. We're finally getting to see it. I'm just throwing that out there.
I've been saying it for years that Sami Zayn has been copying moveset for the longest time. No one will believe me. Where the hell was it came from?
Well, in my defense, WWE's been kind of shit, so it's hard to watch. But
okay, so whatever. I've been saying it for years. Just go ahead.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. WrestleMania's got 2 nights. One night, Bloodline, Roman Reigns, and the Usos versus Kevin, Sammy, and El Generico. Book it.
I'd say I'd be down.
But I thought Generico he just completely retired though. Does he still?
Okay, if Ric Flair can get one last match, and
but at the same time, Generico I feel like is kind of more light.
Never say never in wrestling. Just go throw that out there.
True.
Now let's get into the women's Royal Rumble match. I'm going to start with who's been announced so far. You got Liv Morgan, Candice LeRae, Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez, Shayna Baszler, Zelina Vega, Emma Bailey, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Lacey Evans, and Xia Li. Just 12. And now the Vegas odds are fun here.
Where's Stephanie McMahon?
Well, yeah, let's see what we got so far. Rhea Ripley is the odds-on favorite at minus 175, so she's the only one where you would basically have to bet $175 to win $100.
Right.
Becky Lynch plus 350, Raquel Rodriguez plus 1100, Alexa Bliss plus 1600. Stephanie McMahon, surprisingly,
she's
not on here.
No,
she's not on this one. No.
Wow, she's
really
always in there.
I mean, she's she's off TV completely.
She's still a McMahon.
Now, some names that are interesting here that they put on the Vegas odds here. Milko Satomura is at plus 10,000. They have Maurice, Dana Brooke, and Tamina at plus 25,000. Those are like the long shot, really big long shot odds. For whatever reason, they got Kylie Sane at plus 5,000, Lita at plus 5,000. There's a lot here. Let me actually, you know what? I'm going to share my screen so I can show these. I should probably do that.
Well, Lita will be in town that weekend. I mean, she's not already.
Speaking of my bank account being money free.
Again, bro, right there with you.
So, lots of betting odds here for Sasha Banks. Really, I don't think that's happening, but they got her at plus 2,000. So
yeah.
Oh my God, bothered.
Yeah, Sasha Banks. Come on. If anything, it's going to be Mercedes Moné. So I mean,
that's true. Ronda's at plus 4,000. Beth is at plus 5,000. Lita at plus 5,000. I mentioned. Shotzi, Queen Zelina, Sonya Deville.
Is anybody over 9,000?
I see what you did there. Yeah, basically from Carmella down.
I'm glad I'm awake, or else if I had missed that joke, I'd have been off.
I like when I can make jokes about things I don't really know about. I just know the reference.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So if you're watching us at home, if you're watching us live, if you're watching us after the fact, we're going to do this 2 ways. I want you to pick who you think is going to win this match, and then who you think a surprise entrant is going to be in this match. Because as of right now, we've got 12 people announced. So, Mike, we can start with you. Who do you think is winning, and who's your surprise entrant?
Okay. My who I think is going to win pick is really more of a loyalty pick because I don't think they're going to book it this way. But I've got to pick Bayley because it's the one major thing she has not won.
Okay.
Which also connects to the fact that she's the one horsewoman who has yet to have a main event match at WrestleMania. And, generally one can lead to the other. I don't think it's going to happen. But again, if anybody deserves it over the last few years for what they've done during the pandemic and since they returned from their injury, I don't know who's been more consistent and stuff than Bailey. So I know that's probably not that we're going to go, but I go down with that ship.
Are you surprised, Richard?
I would kind of like Lita, but honestly, if she's going to be signing autographs till 2:00, I don't know if they're just going to zip her across to get her ready. Usually, you kind of get ready throughout the day. So I'm going to throw out someone who just recently showed up on WWE TV. Top tier Jasmine Allure.
All right.
I mean, it's in Texas. She just had a match against Lacey Evans. She's on WoW. Really, really rising up the ranks here. I mean, you don't have enough women apparently to have it anyways. Why not?
It occurred to me they could have just had all the women in this match. And that would have worked. It would have made more sense.
Yeah, no, yes.
Yeah.
Tommy,
who are you picking? Who's your surprise entry for the Women's Royal Rumble?
Who I actually want to see win this? I mean, I'd like to see Bailey win it just for everything that he said, because I completely agree. Who I would kind of like to see win based on the past couple of years she's had, Liv Morgan.
Okay.
I would like to see Liv Morgan win this because I feel like of the people, I mean, going back to the people who work their ass off terminology, in what way has she not? I mean, she kind of took that whole "I'm alone by myself and they fired on my friends" thing and said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to be the best that they've seen. And also the craziest that I still think about that dive from the turnbuckle post off onto the table, and I was thinking, oh, she crazy. I like that.
Who had female Sabu on their woman character list where they're like, what can you do? Female Sabu, that'll work.
I didn't. I'm mad that I didn't. It's like reading a book I wish I would have wrote. By the way, it's like, damn, this is so good. Why did I write this? And that's probably because I can't finish a chapter in a single week. That's a personal problem. Anyway, surprise entrant. She said, "Oh, they did."
Yeah.
That's true. That they did. That's right. That's sad. That the NXT roster can have 2/3 of the.
Yeah, but we meant females that WWE cares about. So
at least on the main roster side of things, yeah. So
the shots that were fired, but yet really hit anyway. As far as surprise entrant, screw it, Mandy Rose, because I still think she was done dirty. So this is not even from a she's attractive standpoint. Don't get me wrong, she is, but this is just from a they did her wrong standpoint. Like,
Tommy,
yeah, I'm still going.
Yeah.
What?
How dare you say something so obvious?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Captain Obvious. I thought you knew that. Yeah.
Oh, well, first off, you did steal my surprise. I was gonna say Mandy Rose. I know. I did kind of tease it in the middle. I kind of expected. I mean, I think they realize they got to write it wrong somehow. At least give her an appearance. Now, for first, like if they are that is in the works.
Whoa,
Jason!
Wow, I didn't realize you were Team Tommy. I mean, you spelled it wrong.
Hater in the house. Yeah,
you spelled it wrong. It's a Z, so I guess you're talking about the Disney princess. But
well, that's spelled wrong. So it is I at the end. But
guess I'm not sitting next to you on the 11th.
Yeah, but
man.
Mission Pro shows are so war zones for us now.
For you, Tommy, because you antagonize everybody.
Yeah.
So I do have Jasmine Lord. I do have Mandy Rose as a surprise entrant.
You too?
Yeah. Well, I would love to see it, but hey, she's on TV, right? She made a appearance, which is kind of cool. The obvious choice is Rhea Ripley.
Sure.
which is why I'm not going with that. Because, and I saw your comment. We'll get to that, Jason. Let me finish what I'm saying. I don't know why, but ever since this Rumble's announced it, I was like, it's in Texas. Something, the Rhea Ripley storyline. I'm going for Raquel Rodriguez. This is like that big young talent that it's in Texas for Carlisle. You're going to have a lot of people from the Valley making this trip.
Yeah.
Do you really want to put her over as a star? This is it. Show how dominant she is. Yeah. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is another. I would not be disappointed in the least.
At all. I would no. Like matter of fact, I mean that year Oscar won. When people said, "No, Oscar's winning." I didn't believe them. I was like, "There's no way Vince would let that happen." When he did, same with Raquel. I mean, it's not impossible because she is good enough. So yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, have her with it.
Even if she doesn't, I think she may be there at the end.
Yeah,
if she doesn't, but that'd be cool.
Back to Jay's comment, says I'm team neutral.
Oh, so you're just an instigator.
Yeah, so
you just like starting from both sides.
Of course he is. He just enjoys watching the drama from the sidelines.
I don't know him as well as you do, so I've just gotten to know him more recently.
Yeah,
giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Now let's move into the men's Royal Rumble. This so far that what has been announced for the men are Kofi Kingston, Santos Escobar, Ricochet, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, Rey Mysterio, Gunther, Cody Rhodes. Why couldn't you have let that be a surprise? Osmosis, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, Karrion Kross, Dominic Mysterio, Xavier Woods, The Miz, and Brock Lesnar. 19 out of 30 entrants for this.
This was going so well until the very end.
Yeah. Which, by the way, good call WWE for getting rid of the name Banger Bros. Bro, do your research before you pick a name. I'm just throwing it out there.
Literally almost the exact same thing with the females when it was Submission Sorority when they had Paige and Charlotte and who was the third one?
Banger Bros. What is that? That is.
I mean, I don't know,
but
I read it off some news sites. So
yeah,
some news sites. Yeah, because I don't know what they're possibly referring to. No.
Yeah, y'all fucking lying. Y'all were all single once too. It's just
damn, JC, we were kidding.
Look, JC, no one asked for the truth, all right?
I'm bringing it today.
This is pro wrestling, damn it. There are some stuff we can still make.
Now, here are the Vegas odds. Cody Rhodes is the favorite betting-wise at negative -120. So, bet 120, win $100. The rest of these, if you bet $100, you win this. Sami Zayn at plus 250. The Rock and Stone Cold are next at plus 450, plus 800, surprisingly.
Why is Stone Cold even okay?
Texas, I guess. I don't know. Why would he be?
I guess.
I don't
whatever.
know. Vegas. Rollins, Lashley, Logan Paul's in there. Some other names: Edge, Finn Balor. Let's see, Montez Ford, Riddle, which I think is still hurt, but hey, you never know, right? Plus 8,000. AJ Styles at plus 10,000. Would love to see it. Probably not happening, unfortunately. And it sucks because had he not gotten injured, he probably might have been my pick to win it this year, outside the Cody Rhodes thing. Elias at plus 15,000, Ciampa at plus 15,000, and there's a lot that plus 25,000 range. Pat McAfee, bro, come on! Like I would love to see that, but I know that's not happening.
Football's over, man.
Yeah, Shane McMahon's in here. The plus 50,000 range, you get Chad Gable, Otis, Rich Holland, Robert Roode, Shelton Benjamin, Xavier Woods, and Shaky. Well, Shaky's at plus 100,000. Surprisingly, Bad Bunny is not on this list.
I'm actually kind of shocked by that.
I'm shocked by that too. So
how dare they?
Yeah. So lots of potential to pick there, but again, we're gonna go through this. Pick who you think is gonna win. Pick who a surprise entrant will be. We'll start with Tommy first this time.
I really am. As far as who's going to win it, I'm still stuck between Cody and because honestly, before this bloodline thing gained the traction that it did, my odds-on pick was Cody Rhodes for sure. Even months ago, because I heard he'd be healthy in time for the Rumble anyway. Yeah, screw it. I'll stick with Cody. It's Cody
Okay.
to win it. Surprise entrant. Who's in town this weekend?
Check the WrestleCon list.
Yeah,
You just said that, and I gotta pick now.
Yeah.
No. Gosh, I don't know.
Don't pick my
If
pick.
his contract, if his contract was up, I'd say Jay White, like hands down. It's not up yet. So Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, maybe. Yeah, I honestly don't know who the subject will be, but I'll say Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona.
Okay. Mike, what about you?
I'm going to pick Cody because even though I think Sami Zayn is a strong and still may be, before all things are said and done, a strong choice to get a title match with Reigns at Mania, I think story-wise, it makes more sense for Cody to win this, and Sammy, if he gets a title match, it's due to the continuation of the Bloodline story, something that maybe happens at Elimination Chamber, if that's still in between. I don't remember at this point. But I think it makes more sense for Cody's story to win that and not have to get in a title match, because I think that's still the plan for him to have a title match. Please don't let it. So I'm going to choose my surprise entrance, but I'm also kind of choosing a please don't be a surprise entrance, and that's The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need that involved. We already got Brock Lesnar. If that's not bad enough, I don't need The Rock in here taking up more time from people. After you said the WrestleCon list, there was only one clear choice for this Rumble, and that is the big bad booty daddy, Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner, coming back, because we know him and Triple H hate each other. But what's best for business? Steiner with a live mic. I say Scott Steiner.
I will say if I hear that siren go off and holler if you hear me, I'm going to mark out, and I don't care if I'm the only one who was that's his interest music. I'm going to mark out.
See, when he said the WrestleCon list, I mentioned, you know what? Like, there's only one name that could be a surprise entrant because he'd be the first one to be in 4 decades of Royal Rumble, and that's Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah,
that would be
that
amazing.
Would be awesome.
No, as much as we knock on legends taking spots, if you're gonna have one legend make an appearance, by God, let it be Hacksaw. Guy won the very first one. You know, I mean, why not?
80s, 90s, 2000. Couldn't it be 5? Did he miss a decade?
He might have missed a decade. At least, yeah. I think
because he won in 89. He won the very first one.
He won the very first one.
Which was in the 80s. So technically in the 80s.
Yeah.
I assume he was in some of the 90s. Maybe between 20 and the 2010s, he may have missed one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he was a surprise entrance in at least the 2000s, I'm pretty sure.
In the 2000s, but I don't think we've seen him in over 10 years.
That's probably
so.
True.
That's why I think it'd be cool to see him there.
That's a good show.
Now, contract or no contract, screw it. Jay White is my surprise entrant pick. I don't give a damn.
Real quick. Actually, no, he did. Duggan was in from 88 to 92. Then he was in 2007, and then he was in 2009, 2012. So, if he makes this one,
it's 5 decades.
Yeah. So 5
decades.
How about
that?
If he's at this one, it'd be 5 decades of Rumbles.
Let's see it. My true.
I'd be in. I'd be in, dude.
My true surprise pick is Jay White. Contract or no contract,
which would also be super cool.
Yeah, which I would love to see. Let him have his name Switchblade too. Have that show up. How big of a pop would that be? Whether it's
here's the thing though. I feel like Triple H has started doing that with a lot of the guys. I mean, he let Samoa Joe keep his name originally. I mean,
yeah.
You know, but to me, Jay White, if it's to Joe, I think he's bigger than Joe was when he came in at that time. Because Jay White is synonymous. I still say he's a better heel than MJF, honestly.
Plus, Joe came into NXT, not main roster, so that that was one thing too.
So, and I think Jay White could come in as a Switchblade. I honestly think he'd get a really good crowd reaction. I feel like more people know who he is, and I think a lot of people realize. I feel like he's really transcended just New Japan, and that's to his credit. Yeah. So.
Yeah. They could probably keep the Switchblade, but there's probably a few of the other nicknames based off that they wouldn't use in WWE.
Like King Switch?
Am I misthinking about this? But didn't he also have a nickname at one point with Knife? and then
Knife
like
pervert. Yeah,
yeah,
you're right. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Okay.
I'm sure there's something they won't use, but
That's what I was thinking. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're right.
If the guy's on his way out, contract's about to expire, why not let it go early so you can get this started? You know, why not? The guy was just a Wrestle Kingdom. He lost how many main events at Wrestle Kingdom? Let the guy have this, okay? Let him out of his contract early. So let me see Jay White. As far as picks,
Well,
I'm
I was
not
gonna say
going
real quick. I mean, it could have been part of this whatever deal they have. Why Carl Anderson got to go over there while he was still contracted. They could have made a side deal because Carl Anderson wasn't in no way out of his WWE contract. He just was still contracted and working there. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what they did. They did some deal with Impact. Didn't they when Mickey James was in the Rumble? Didn't Christian or somebody go over there? That was part of the deal they made, like a brief trade?
Believe so. I don't know. Well, I mean, Christian. Yeah. I know Christian did it years ago when Ric Flair was under Impact contract and they brought him in for the Horseman Hall of Fame induction.
That's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
And then Christian Cage
I did something else like that with Impact when.
No, I think you're right. I think there was. Yeah. But I think it was similar to what happened the first time. I don't think it was like he wrestled. Yeah. I think they like showed up for
like a Hall of Fame appearance or some shit like that.
Something, or like an announcement or something. Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah, or something like that. I don't remember who it was, but it was somebody. So you never know. I mean, New Japan, you know, they're pretty flexible with who they'll work with. I mean, God knows Noah invades them at least once a year. So
yeah, that Jay White, he's gonna make my surprise appearance, and I really hope so.
That'd be
as far as pick.
I'll lose my shit if Jay White comes out there.
Now, I'm sticking with Cody as my pick, but I'm not as confident in it. And the only reason I'm not as confident in it anymore is because they that too. They spoiled the surprise. If they had not said, you know, he's gonna be there, you know, it's like, okay, he hasn't built it. Like, if he had shown up as a surprise return, maybe at a point when Seth Rollins is in the ring by himself and Cody Rhodes shows up, I'm like, hell yeah, dude's winning this. But he announced that he's going to be back at the Rumble. It's like, oh, why did you ruin that? Why? You know? So I'm still going with Cody because I've been saying it for months. I really think he's going to be the one to finally beat Roman Reigns. You know, one bloodline to another, the Rhodes bloodline taking down the bloodline, which would be a great story building into WrestleMania. But I think Cody. But yes, I have concerns with Sami Zayn. But I don't think Sami's going to win because I really think depending on what happens, we think Roman versus Kevin Owens is going to start the show. I think the men's Rumble is going to finish it. But I think whatever might happen at the beginning of the show is going to turn around and cost Sami the Rumble at the end. Whether it's Solo getting involved and tossing Sami out on Roman Reigns' orders, who knows? Something is going to happen storyline-wise with this bloodline thing, and it's going to cost Sami Zayn a chance to win the Royal Rumble. That's my thought on it. So that's why I've got Cody Rhodes.
Let's say Rhodes wins, because I think that's going to happen too, obviously.
Yeah.
But the crowd is going to get behind Sami. If Rhodes gets booed or not as cheered because people want Sami in that spot, does he have his AEW heel turn again? Where he thinks he's the good guy in the face, but he starts getting booed and he doesn't understand why.
May I propose a theory?
Sure.
What's that?
An Austin theory?
Well, it's more of a San Antonio theory. Oh, I see what you mean. That's good. Okay.
Hey, that was a good one too.
Yeah.
Thank you. But what? I've been hearing a lot of theories like of Solo Sikoa actually fits in and all this. What if Solo eliminates Sami? And what if it's like what if the theory or the story then is like, did he do it because Roman told him to, or does he do it just because he doesn't anymore?
That's probably it. I mean, because Solo will be in the match, and it's, for one, it takes the heat off Cody, because if they do this before Cody even gets into the match, it does take the heat off Cody for that. You know?
Yeah.
You know, and I know fans are smart, but
remember what happened with Daniel Bryan years ago when they eliminated him early?
Yeah.
I mean, you could be right, but also fans. Now we're not Philly, so maybe that helps.
Yeah, we're not Philly, and Batista's not going to be winning. We hope not this Rumble.
No, Philly was the one Roman won.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, there was no Bautista. There's no
Yeah.
Roman coming back.
In Batista's,
know.
in Batista's defense, he didn't want to win that Rumble, and I know
Yes, because he knew.
because he told me so. So
Yeah. So they got to be smart how they book this. But yeah, I think that's where I think Solo's going to cost Sammy the match somehow. And yeah, that's going to be the story. Was it on Roman's orders or someone else? Yeah. So,
Or the Rock's orders. Because remember when he first came up, there was
you know what?
when the Rock, which I guess is still a possibility, the Rock Reigns match was bandied about.
Mhm.
People were insinuating that Solo was sent to Clash at the Castle on Rock's orders, and he's like a double agent for the
Hmm.
Rock.
Yeah,
He did it
I've
for
heard
the
a-
Rock, like his dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like Solo has some of the most interesting stories for a guy who doesn't talk as much, and I respect that. So
Dude, yeah, I love his like stone face, but I also love the stuff you've seen where he talks about Sammy like just going out of his way to try to crack him, and
Yeah.
like
Solo's
that one video from the house show where he has to double half face with his
Yeah.
towel because this guy right here, this is my dog, and Solo's like, son of a bitch. Because he's like the last one on camera who hasn't broke yet because we gave up on Jimmy years ago. So
Yeah.
All right. WWE Royal Rumble is taking place tomorrow, Saturday, January 28th, 7 p.m. Central Time. Pre-show is probably going to start around 6.
Yeah.
It's going to be at the Alamo Dome, or I should say half of the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. Going to be streamed on Peacock in the United States and WWE Network where it's held internationally. But speaking of that, if you're in Australia and you're watching us, good day. You're going to be able to watch this. This is going to be the first WWE pay-per-view to air on Binge, which is a new streaming service that is owned by, I guess, like a company that owns the broadcasting rights to WWE in Australia. So Binge is the streaming service in Australia that's going to have this. Be the first event shown on there. Otherwise, in the U.S., Otherwise, in the U.S., it's on Peacock and WWE Network everywhere else. And I believe also on your traditional pay-per-views. But if you are watching this on pay-per-view and not subscribing to Peacock, it's a bad economy. People just save some money. Just throwing it out there. Come on now, So, all right. With that, guys, time to move into our 1-minute warning segment here. Mike, do you have something this week?
Yeah.
All right. Whenever you're ready, set, and go.
All right. So this is not going to actually be a 1-minute warning about something as much as it's going to be a little bit of advertisement. I don't know if I can do this. Can I share my screen at the moment while you
Yes,
have
you
me
can.
like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna try this. And do y'all see the poster up here?
We sure do.
Cool. Tomorrow, me and Tommy are probably going to be at WrestleCon trying to definitely get Sting's autograph. And then
Good luck.
I will be testing my self-control for who else I also or do not get. But you can see the people there. That's 10 to 2 tomorrow down at the River Center at the Marriott, the main convention center. Free admission, but you can also find the prices for everybody. And, if you're willing to put out the cash. On Sunday, most likely, some of us, maybe including Steady, maybe including Tommy, will probably be here at Wonderlands of America for a few other Hall of Famers that are in town. Jake the Snake and Cheryl Roberts will not be showing up, but Ted DiBiase, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and Bushwhacker Luke are still supposed to be there. So we will probably be there on Sunday. It's both Saturday and Sunday, 11 till 5. Both are free. There are some meet and greet and quick passes to meet these. You can check on their site. But it should be a fun weekend. And then WWE has had a bunch of people already this week meet and greeting out and about. Big E was out, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio. Why it's always Cricket and Walmart, I don't know, but that seems to be the people the places they connect with. So
that's a good question. Why not Taco Palenque for crying out loud?
So have a fun wrestling weekend, guys. If you're in town, hopefully you get to partake in some part of this, whether it be going to the Rumble, going to these different events to get some meet and greets, or maybe just wandering downtown tomorrow near the Riverwalk and seeing if you run into people. So that was actually kind of cool too, real quick. On SmackDown, they did a few things you could tell from the hotel downtown. I think Bailey and Damage Control were like in one of the hallways. You could tell right in front of like the meeting rooms of the hotel. Rhea Ripley did a small promo from the Riverwalk, which was really cool. So I love that they're incorporating the city into the stuff right before the show. So that was really cool.
All right. Tommy, you ready?
Actually, I don't think I have anything this week.
Okay. All good.
Yeah. I think I'm good this week.
Okay. I got a couple of things I want to say. First of all, shout out to the city of Laredo showing up on for SmackDown. Had a great show. Shut up and shut out. But I'm going to say this. If you thought SmackDown was great, make sure you guys are showing up for AEW Dynamite when it's there in a few weeks. You will not be disappointed, Laredo. Second thing I want to say, guys, if you see MJF in public, know the dude is a heel. He's a character. He's always playing that. But probably he's really a jackass like that. But the reason I bring this up is because someone posted a video of him getting into an elevator at a hotel. A lot of fans know he is getting around there, and he got in the elevator, and someone tried to get in with him, and he just pushed him out and says, no one's getting in the elevator with me, and then just kept on going. And someone's like, oh, God, you do that to your fans? MJF doesn't have any fans, and if he did, he doesn't give a shit, people. It's not that hard. So just word to the wise. Understand if it's MJF, leave him the fuck alone. Just get used to that. Be thankful you got pushed by him for crying out loud at an elevator. So, yes. Come on, people.
I completely disagree. Force your way in that elevator. File assault charges. It's real, right? It's real to him. This is what he's doing. Let's make it real, man.
Wait.
He pushed you. That's assault, right? This ain't kayfabe, right? He believes it's real.
Hold on. My question is, who the hell said, how can you treat your fans this way? Have you never seen this man at a meet and greet? Like, he flips off kids on a regular.
It honestly sounded like the girlfriend of the guy that was recording the video, who probably doesn't know wrestling, but her boyfriend watches it, and who's just like, why would he treat his fans that way?
And the guy probably had the fucking time of his life. He probably enjoys the hell out of that shit. Oh my God.
Honestly, to me, it was one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen. Because it's like, no, you're not getting the hotel with me. Get
Another
the fuck
point.
Out. Yeah.
If you could have gotten your hand in the elevator, hit all the floors real quick.
I would have done that. I would have done that.
Could have worked. And then been like, haha, suck it. And that could have worked too.
Oh my God, good stuff. But hey, props to him. Just say what you want about him. He's old school. You keep it kayfabe the whole time. I do. You know. So, Bernsey, you're catching us at the end, buddy.
You catch us at the end, bro.
Yeah. What's up,
Bernsey?
Yeah.
Give us your Rumble winners real quick.
Yeah, Rumble winners and surprise entrance, bro. If you haven't done that already, do it now, people. Oh my gosh.
There you go. Like we're talking about. I was going to say the Bloodline. It's not the Blood Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Here we go. More events here. Stays calling out. Dominic.
Sub Dominic Mysterio and Damian Priest at the Cricket Wireless.
if his mommy's going to be there too. Are going to be a Cricket Wireless on WWE.
Hold on.
What?
That's a different thing. Is it just them two, or is he there with mommy? Because then you know.
Yeah,
I'm sure she's probably going to drop him off. So
she probably does have to drop him off.
I mean, if Ray is there, I'm getting up earlier than I thought and going over there first.
Give mommy a kiss and make sure you have your lunch before you go to your meet and greet.
Yeah. So. That's gonna be going on there. Mike, of course, you already called out other WrestleCon events and stuff. And please shout out to WrestleCon. Stepping up when there was another event that was scheduled to happen, got canceled, no explanation given. WrestleCon said, you know what? We'll do a free event in San Antonio Rumble. Shout out to you guys for doing that. If you're able to attend WrestleCon when they're in Los Angeles for WrestleMania weekend, do go check it out.
And shout out to RCW for putting together a show at almost the last minute too, and getting everyone in Texas to this Rumble thing. Well,
that's going to be on Sunday. I'm sure Tommy's going to attend, but I don't think he'll get it free because Brent Oliver's going to keep a good eye on that. But as for us with the Wrestlecast, we're going to be probably doing something. Mike, you're welcome to come over at our house if we have a little thing here. Let's talk with Steady a bit. We'll probably be live streaming a reaction to the Rumble matches. So
I'll text Shaw as I'm there.
yeah, right.
Tommy, I need you to do one thing.
Okay.
If you see them moving the Cody Vader into the entranceway so he can be raised up, so it wasn't like that last time where his head's sticking out, just text us because I assume if he's going to have to do his elevator entrance, they're going to have to move a little thing in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funny part is, he'll see it before it's even broadcast
That's what
to
I
us.
mean, yeah.
But the problem is the cell signal is such a bitch in the Alamo with so many people there.
It is.
The
Like,
text
oh
may-
my God,
the text
you're
may not
right. I
get to us till
forgot
after we
about
get to
that.
see it. So,
Yeah, you're
Good
right.
point.
So I'll be able to. I take it back. I'll be able to text Shaw crap because I forgot the signal in that building is.
Yeah.
well, good luck or get on the Wi-Fi if you can. So
Yeah, I'll try.
yeah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the Countdown City WrestleCast this week. And again, I appreciate your patience as I had to help with a science project yesterday and had to postpone the show. And thankfully, we got all that done. And my daughter would pick something having to do with Jell-O as a science project. But yeah, of course. So
I can't
Say
say
she has good taste.
I'm
Yeah,
just
I was gonna say.
thankful it wasn't slime because she does it with everything else.
Bernsey made his picks. Yep.
Yeah. If you got surprise entries, Bernsey, let us know.
Yeah,
Burns pretty solid. I think that's the
Yeah, go with the Vegas favorites on that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I can't see any fault in his logic.
Yeah. So. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. We appreciate it. Over here, we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real. People are
fake.
Reach for the sky, boy.
That's another thing. We'll recap all this all next week. So take care,
Adios,
y'all.
Gunther.